Hello everyone, this is KK Pankaj on your screen. Dear learners, today we'll study social science and the topic is the Indian Judiciary. This is part 1. Dear learners, if you haven't yet subscribed our channel, please subscribe our channel and press the bell icon to receive the further notifications. So let's start today's topic. There are three main organs of the Indian government. Number 1, the legislature. Number 2, the executive. Number 3, the judiciary. The legislature, it makes the laws. The executive, it enforces the laws. And the judiciary, it interprets the laws. Dear learners, as you know that the Indian judiciary is the third most important organ of the government. Its main function is to protect our fundamental rights, interpret the law, and to protect the liberty of an individual. The judiciary plays a crucial role in the functioning of India's democracy. It is the foundation stone of the modern democracy. Importance of independent judiciary. Dear learners, in the life of the citizen of a state, judiciary is the source of confidence and fearlessness. From citizens' point of view, judiciary is the most important organ of the government, as it acts as protector of the rights of the people. Independent judiciary ensures that fundamental rights of the citizen are well protected. Judiciary safeguards the federal nature of the Indian political system. It also advises the president or governor of a state on matters related to law. Independent judiciary acts as custodian of our constitution. In case any dispute arises between the center and the state due to division of powers, the judiciary interprets the constitution and settles the differences. Hierarchy of the judiciary. On the top, the Supreme Court. After that, High Court. After that, subordinate court. And under subordinate court, district court, revenue court, and Nyaya Panchayat. Structure and process of judiciary. There are 25 high courts for 28 states and 8 union territories. The Supreme Court, situated at New Delhi, is the apex judicial body. The Supreme Court is the highest court of law in India. The Supreme Court. As I told you, the Supreme Court is the apex judicial body. At present, it has one Chief Justice and 30 other judges. Appointment of judges. The Chief Justice of the Supreme Court is appointed through the collegium system by the President of India on the advice of the outgoing Chief Justice and the Prime Minister. Sometimes the Chief Justice of a High Court is also consulted. The other judges are appointed by the President after the consulting the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court. Qualifications for the Supreme Court judge. In order to become the judge of the Supreme Court, a candidate should be a citizen of India. The first point, a candidate should be a citizen of India. Second, must have an experience of working as an advocate for at least 10 years in a high court or should have served as a judge of high court for 5 years. Next, must be a distinguished jurist in the eyes of the president. So these are the qualifications for the Supreme Court judge. Tenure. The judges of the Supreme Court retire at the age of 65 years. Impeachment. What is impeachment? Dear learners, it is a process by which the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and the other judges can be removed from the office. I repeat, it is a process by which the Chief Justice of the Supreme Court and the other judges can be removed from the office. Salaries and other allowances. The judges of the Supreme Court are paid high salaries. They are also entitled to rent-free accommodation and other allowances. Functions and powers of the Supreme Court. The functions can be elaborated under the following heads. Original jurisdiction. Under original jurisdiction, the Supreme Court deals with those cases which come directly under its jurisdiction. These cases may relate to center-state disputes, disputes between various states, the cases involving the violation of fundamental rights. Next, appellate jurisdiction. As we know, the Supreme Court is the apex court for the jurisdiction in India. When someone is not satisfied with the decision given by the High Court of a state, in that case, he or she may ask the Supreme Court to review the judgment. The Supreme Court may consider the case. This is called appellate jurisdiction of the Supreme Court. Next is writ jurisdiction. The Supreme Court is the guardian of our fundamental rights. When someone feels that their fundamental rights are violated or they are deprived of their fundamental rights, in that case, they can directly file a petition in the Supreme Court for redressal. The Supreme Court then gives special orders in the form of a writ to get the fundamental rights implemented. Next is advisory jurisdiction. The Supreme Court sometimes has to perform advisory functions also. So these were the functions and powers of the Supreme Court. Now at last, here is an exercise. Dear learners, hope you will give the answers of these questions. Question number first. Who appoints the judges of the Supreme Court? Think and reply. Good. The President appoints the judges of the Supreme Court. Next question. Where is the Supreme Court situated? Very good. The Supreme Court is situated in New Delhi. At what age do the Supreme Court judges retire? Take time and reply. The judges of Supreme Court retire at the age of 65 years. Next and last question. What qualifications are required to be a judge of the Supreme Court? About qualifications we have studied, so try to give the answer. Okay. In order to become the judge of the Supreme Court, a candidate should be a citizen of India. First point, he should be a citizen of India. Second, must have an experience of working as an advocate for at least 10 years in a high court, or should have served as a judge of high court for 5 years. Next, must be a distinguished jurist in the eyes of the president. Thanks for watching this video.